and welcome to Switched On with ITTN. I'm so excited to have with me this morning the wonderful and effervescent Steve Williams, who's the Director of Sales for the UK and Ireland for the famous staircase company of all staircases, MSC Cruises.
Hi
Welcome.
Sharon, great to see you and thanks so much for having me today.
Oh, thrilled. How are things over there? Is the weather as bad as it is here?
Do you know what? Yesterday, summer, it was beautiful. Sat out and did a bit of work in the garden off the chair. Today, oh my God, it is appalling, shocking. So I got real Irish weather in England today. It's terrible. So yeah, we keep thinking summer's here, but not quite yet.
What's the biggest change you see coming in the cruise industry and for MSC?
A year on, Sharon, goodness me, is it really a year? Gosh, what hasn't changed? I think the world has changed kind of, beyond everyone's what they expected. I think we all thought, oh, here we go, a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, and a year later, here we are. I think what's been incredible is everyone's resilience. It's not been easy. We've kind of battered through it, and I think probably everybody has made mistakes through it, but we learn by our mistakes and we adapt, we listen, and we try and listen to our partners and adapt and try and change. As we emerge, I think, yeah, a lot is different. Cruising itself is going to look quite different. I think for agents, the booking patterns of consumers is going to be very different going forward. So all the things I guess you and I would know, traditional wave periods and traditional booking periods, that's gone. And I think as business starts to come back, people and agents need to kind of take away what they've known in the past and come in very open-minded. And, wave could happen June or July this year if we get green lights from governments and things.
The industry as we know it is completely turned on its head. Yeah. And like you said, wave periods. Are we ever going to have that January bump again? We don't know.
Sharon, just this week, we would normally do certain promos at certain times of year. We are now questioning that and saying, do we need to change that? For example, a lot of surveys being done and customers are saying they really want all-inclusive. So that all-inclusive proposition is coming out of this stronger than ever. So, okay, we do all-inclusive promotions certain times a year. We probably need to change when we think about when we offer those now and tie that into when we start to see consumer demand coming back really aggressively. And so I think, yes, things, have changed and people need to be really open-minded to new working practices and new ways of doing things and new booking patterns.
Completely, absolutely, completely agree. Actually, I think I saw an offer the other day from MSC. Was it a world cruise? Was there 118 days? I was like, get me on board.
Honestly, Sharon, I cannot believe how much world cruise business we're doing.
So when do MSC hope to set sail for everybody? I know there was a thing about Schengen regions and all that.
So, it's increasingly looking more and more positive every day. So, of course, we have Grandiosa, which is going so well in the Med. Last week, we announced Seaside is resuming services on the 1st of May. We will hopefully shortly be announcing some Eastern Mediterranean ships to be resuming service. And then just this week, we kind of got the news we've all been waiting for, which was the UK government have given the green light for cruise operations to resume in the UK on domestic itineraries initially. And the date for that is earliest date to recommence the 17th May. So what we now need to do is look at our UK operation that we have. It's not an easy thing just to start again and actually potentially look at ports call, etc. So it's a logistical huge jigsaw puzzle that we need to look at. That is, we got kind of working feverishly behind the scenes to put all the pieces together. The good news for Ireland, and what I've seen through this pandemic, is tends to be whatever the UK announce, that Ireland doesn't seem to be too far behind. So I am optimistic. They're saying UK 17 May is the earliest for international travel. Probably the latest will be 21 June. So that's all being worked through. And actually, MSC are part of the global task force feeding into the government for that restart for global travel. I am optimistic that Ireland will come back this summer. And of course, you're part of the EU. MSC, we already have the green light through our head office for Brits and Irish to travel. All we need is your government then to give the green light. And of course, all of that will instantly be open, and you'll have Grandiosa seaside down in the Med that hopefully you'd be able to get down to. Or it could be easier for people to hop down to Southampton and go on the kind of UK cruises. So I think we're gonna see a lot of positive messaging unfolding over the next few weeks. Your industry has done a really good job lobbying the government. I know they've been very proactive, and we've been watching kind of, you know, with great interest. So I think I'm optimistic you're going to get some holidays this summer.
I hope so.
I really hope so. We can't wait to have the Irish back on board.
I'm literally living on your every word. You're going, yeah, you're right.
We're ready, and you know, we obviously have to adhere to government regulations, but we are ready. We can flick that switch, and the second your government say yes, we can get you down to the Med and we can get you cruising.
And you know, I would cruise out of Dublin right now. Steve, I'd walk on board a ship and sit there for 5 hours just to be like, oh, I was on holidays again. And just in terms of, like, I mean, you've spoken a lot about different products that you have for MSC, and MSC being one of the biggest cruise companies in the Irish market, actually #1 in the Irish market. Like, what is it that you feel is going to go forward, bring you, keep that #1 spot? You've got the product in place, it's exciting.
Yeah, I think we've got a fantastic variety of product, and I think something that works really well for MSC in Ireland is that sheer variety. What we're seeing really strong at the moment, Dubai is selling incredibly well, and I don't think that comes as any surprise, Sharon. Dubai has always been strong in the Republic, and we obviously have the Emirates flights. We also do embarkation in Doha now, so you can fly Qatar and fly to Doha. So there are different options. We've got 2 ships down there this winter. I think everybody is so confident for the winter, albeit people maybe are a bit more pessimistic about the summer still. Winter will be game on. I think Dubai is always considered a very safe destination. Through this, they have remained open through most of it, and they've managed tourism very well. So I think the whole protocol is well tested, as is ours. It's a beautiful destination. We've got Virtuosa down there, so our brand new ships, a great hardware, you know, combined if you do a cruise and stay with some fabulous hotels. So Dubai's done great. Caribbean, we are seeing exceptional demand. And again, the Caribbean has always been such a good market for Ireland. You know, obviously you've got Aer Lingus uplift, great over to the States. We've got some new itineraries. So we've put a ship into Port Canaveral. And that was always a bit of a weak spot for us, because we used to get a lot of demand saying, look, we've got people that love doing the theme parks, but then they've got to get down to Miami for you for a ship. So we've kind of listened, and we've put a ship into Port Canaveral, and you can bolt on 3-4 night cruises out of Port Canaveral. And I think that will play out really well for Ireland. Of course, the Med, and actually, as we've seen more and more positive news stories coming through, we've seen real the demand growing for the Med. For even this late summer, we've seen some good Med demand. And this winter, and of course next summer. And then we've got a ship in Barbados, which has always been a bit overlooked in Ireland, but that is doing really well. So she does amazing 14-night itineraries from Barbados. And And be it now because of the IAG connection, you know, Aer Lingus into London and then BA out to Barbados, you know, you do 13 islands in a 14-day cruise. It's exceptional. And I think because people have gone so long without a holiday, they're now kind of going, do you know what? If I'm going to have one, I'm going to have a big one. So that has done really well. But do you know what, Shan? We're just so excited to start to see business come back. You know, it's disheartening, you know, just nothing. And in the last 6 weeks, Suze, Erica and Alana have done a brilliant job through this. And now they're really enjoying proactively getting out and pushing cruises again. We did a Dubai flash sale a few weeks ago and it went exceptionally well. So Suze has got some more tricks up her sleeve for the market soon. But they're just really buoyed to start proactively selling. They can't wait to get out and see people. We've all missed the market so much. You know, me and Antonio we love coming over. We can't wait to get back. We're really enthused and we just want to all get back to doing what we love doing, and selling those fabulous holidays.
I know. And you guys really look after the trade over here in terms of your engagement with them. Like, I mean, you're very present over here, but also you have probably the best security in the market at the moment.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, the FCC policy we've got in place, which, you know, I'm not gonna hide behind anything. It's been a bit challenging as we've gone through, and we have listened to our partner Sharon, and we've always done what's best and right for them, and we do listen, and we have made changes. So most recently, working hand in hand with ABTA, because obviously it is very regulated, we got approval to extend the FCCs out September. So that is really good news, given you've still got a bit of uncertainty about traveling right now. The fact that those vouchers are extended has been really well received by the partners, because now you've got a bit of time to sit on them, because obviously nobody wants to refund them. We all want to convert that business to new business. Of course we do. We do, our partners do. So that has now given some good breathing space. Then the customers that are booking have our stress-free booking policy in place. So if people are booking, they know they can change their cruise up to shortly before departure with that peace of mind. But then the whole regulation piece has changed on the 1st of January. So a lot of work was done behind the scenes in advance of this. And what MSC have done is taken out and obviously funded a substantial insurance policy to bond all our partners in Ireland. So that was in place from the 1st of January. So all of our partners know they have that peace of mind booking with MSC Cruises in Ireland, that they have that financial protection. And I think in this new world we're living in, that is more important than ever, because God forbid, nobody ever knows what's around the corner. As market leaders, we think it is only right and proper and important that we put that in place for our partners. So, yeah, we haven't really shouted about it, but I think maybe now's a good opportunity to kind of enforce that and just say, we have done that. And I think that that's a really positive step for the trade and our commitment to the trade in Ireland.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you've really, in my opinion, you've nailed it. You've like a three-pronged approach. You're looking after everybody. You're looking after the consumer, the travel agent, and then the end user. So it's like it's a win-win for you guys. Yeah. Here, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, if you were to be booking anything right now, I would be booking MSC Cruise, because that for me would be best interest of everybody. And of course you're so well loved over here as well.
I'll take your credit card after, Sharon.
You're going to give me that world cruise before the end of this. I mean, listen, I'm a travel professional. Like my background is selling and, you know, working in the industry. I'm not a media person. I just happen to have fallen into this world. And so realistically, you know, the travel professional and looking after the consumer is where I see everything working out. And I mean,
absolutely,
to be able to offer what you guys are offering is incredible in a market that's very uncertain.
There are lots of uncertainties, and And you know, Sharon, it's the the health and safety protocol that we have in place for our travel professionals, our partners in Ireland. They really need to understand this because, you know, ways of selling a cruise are are changing right now. You know, once you'd have sold it on water slides and how many restaurants, etc. It's not the way you're going to be selling a cruise at the moment. The way you're going to be selling a cruise is by understanding your cruise line's health and safety protocol and being able to pass on and demonstrate that peace of mind that your guest is going to feel safe and secure on board one of our ships. It's incredible what MSC have done, and I'm super proud of what we've been able to achieve. But our partners really need to understand this protocol because this is what they need to be able to demonstrate and get across to consumers of how we will look after their customers and they are in a safe environment, be it on the ship, when they go on a shore excursion, utilizing technology on board. So with the MSC For Me wristbands that we have, that is now used as a tracing piece on board. We have exclusion zones. Should we get an outbreak, we have exclusion zones. We invested hundreds of thousands of euros on every ship in equipment that should guests fall ill, we have the necessary equipment on board. You know, swab testing at the port. It's incredible. I could sit and talk to you all day about you know, the investment and the protocols we've put in place, but there's some good webinars for the partners that they can watch that we've rolled out to the trade that will kind of give them almost a top 10 that they need to understand.
Yeah.
And if they can just get that and talk to their customers, you know, kind of proficiently about these top 10 protocols, I think it will really help them in selling a cruise to their customers.
For me, like I love to cruise. I can't wait to get back on board. And I keep thinking to myself, you know, what is the new world going to look like? And, you know, is it going to be that, you know, it'll be a better experience like what you just said, because you won't have all these big massive queues. You won't have the, you know, the check-in is going to be smoother, more streamlined.
And you're spot on, absolutely spot on. I think before we started, I mean, when MSC made the decision to go in August, which was really quite early, we said, we have to get this right because you get one chance. And bear in mind, the world's media were watching because cruise has been very high profile through this whole experience. We had to get it right. So the work that was done, and we worked with some of the world's leading experts, you know, in viruses and pandemics, etc. So, you know, you kind of start with a base of, they tell us what needs to be done, and you kind of go, well, that's impossible. Well, nothing's impossible. You just have to work through processes and ways of overcoming different scenarios, which we did, and it took till August to get there. So yes, we are sailing at a reduced capacity. There are less people on board. The flow of movement around the ship is easier. The way we manage embarkation is being so organized. You get a dedicated time, you turn up, you're kind of escorted through the kind of whole testing procedure, you get the green light, you get on board. The facilities are all open on board. Things like, people say, well, how does the theatre work? We do the theatre shows, we just do more of them. So we space people out in the theatre, so you've not got all that, you know what it's like, you know, theatre time, everyone floods in, there's a lot of people. You get those pinch points where there always feels like there's a lot of people on a cruise. That's kind of gone because what we're doing is more shows, so less people go into the theatre. So everything just feels a bit easier paced. You know, you go into the buffet and you're handed and you're served, and it's the sunbeds are spaced out, and you know that we've put them into blocks. That sunbed is yours. Everything's just managed really well, but every detail, spa treatments, everything has been thought out, down to the smallest detail. And the best thing is, everything still works. The kids clubs are still operational, the spa treatments, you know, all the different dining options are there. The excursions, we do the bubble on the excursions. So to disembark, you have to go on an MSC excursion. But then all of the staff on the excursion, so the coach driver, the tour guide, they're all tested. So everything is within, we call it the MSC Safe Bubble. So our guests remain within this bubble, and it's how we can ensure everybody's safety and that they can cruise with confidence. And it's just working brilliantly well. So much so, yes, we will now start adding more ships in, and hopefully the kind of the UK piece will form part of that really soon as well, particularly with such a successful vaccine rollout in the UK. Because I think that's kind of the final piece of the jigsaw is the vaccine. And I don't think we have, we won't change the policy about, I don't think we're at a point where we would say, you can't come on board if you're not vaccinated, because actually we've demonstrated since August, we can cruise safely without it. We operate in so many markets, Sharon. I don't think it would be fair, with obviously markets going at different paces. I don't think it would be fair or appropriate to say you can't come if you're not vaccinated. Obviously, if you are, of course, that gives people more confidence. The more people are vaccinated.
Yeah, I was talking about this the other day, though, and it was interesting because I don't think the vaccine is actually going to be the cruise industry's problem, because airlines are going to be demanding it soon enough. So if airlines are demanding it, then, you know, in order to get on these cruise ships, it's going to have to be the case. So
that is it. That's it. You know, we're one piece of a very big jigsaw. Individual governments may say, to come here, you need a vaccine passport. That may mean, I don't know, hypothetically, okay, you're on a cruise going to 6 different countries. If one of those countries dictates that, it may be you can't disembark the cruise in that destination. There are so many unknowns still that we just don't know yet.
Exactly, and it's just changing every day. But I actually don't think the vaccine or the vaccination issue is an issue for cruise companies to worry about, because I think, as you said, you're one cog in the wheel.
One piece. We're both island nations as well. We have to fly to get off these islands, so we are kind of beholden to the airlines. You're absolutely right.
But Steve, I've taken up so much of your time just because I've just enjoyed talking to you so much. But do you have just a final message that we could pass on to the trade in Ireland North and South?
Yeah, well, obviously a huge thank you from myself, Antonio, Suze, Erica, Alana, the whole team. I thank you from the bottom of our hearts, a real genuine heartfelt thank you for coming through this with us, being an amazing trade partner in supporting us. We know it's not been easy. We can't wait to be back. We can't wait to be back in person and come and see everybody, hopefully give everybody a big hug, have a few jars with everyone, do what we do well. And, you know, we want to see cruising back, and we want to see everybody really successful again. And we will be there hand in hand to support that success and that growth, as we always have been, Sharon. I think my advice would be, make sure you're brushed up on that protocol, know what it is you're selling, be open-minded to things being different, I think is really important. And yeah, just thank you. Can't wait to see you all again soon. And I really hope that is very soon. And I'll be there for a Guinness or two.
Well, Steve, that is absolutely our sentiments, exactly, because we want to see you, we want to get on those cruise ships, we want to get our sea legs wet again.
MSC Seashore is launching end of July, so fingers crossed, Sharon, we will have a ship launch.
Oh my goodness, could you imagine?
And you know we love a party, and I don't think there's nothing like an MSC party, so fingers crossed we may have one fairly soon.
Oh, just even thinking about it would put a smile on half the
I
country.
know, I know, I know. Here's praying, here's praying.
It's good. Well, thank you so much, Steve.
Thanks,
And
Sharon.
from us here in the ITTN, our very little small team of me, and of course, Fiona Davenport, who's based in Manchester, actually. We just want to say best of luck, and we just can't wait to be supporting in whatever way we can in the future.